Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and this is gonna be a little bit of a different type of reading. I don't know, this is like a Mahashivaratri special, and I have pulled one card here, and the card tells me, oh my god, I just split the tarot deck and look at what it's here. Okay, there's another card that's trying to peep out. I have the King of Swords and I have the Queen of Swords. Okay, this is about a love reading basically, like a person on your mind. But I feel like for some of you this is also a person, or like a, I would say, that you have never met them. Like you feel connected to a person, you feel like you're in touch with a person, you feel like you have never met them. Either you have seen them on social media, or maybe you had like a brief conversation, but it wasn't really that deep, it never really got that deep. But it seems like I have the Two of Cups here. I didn't even pull this card, or else you would have heard the sound. And this was the first card that came out because it was on top of this. And there's also Seven of Pentacles. It seems like the universe is baking something. Like you're in your room and the universe is your kitchen. Suppose the universe is baking something in the kitchen that you don't know what's exactly happening in the kitchen, but you know that they're cooking, you know that they're baking. Until and unless you go to kitchen, or the food comes out of the kitchen which is fully prepared, then you will be able to know what it actually is. But the only question here is that you're not allowed to go inside the kitchen. Then how are you going to see what that is? But to see what that actually is, you have to wait when it arrives on your doorstep, is what I'm hearing. Like this is literally the card that peeped out when I tried to show you the King of Swords, and it seems like this is related to your love. That is what I'm getting here, that when it comes to your love, there's a person here that's being hand prepared, hand molded for you. Now I have channeled this energy like a lot of times from time to time, and this is showing up again at my doorstep to channel this. But this is a little bit of a different energy. Now my eye is again going to a beautiful tree which has like pink color leaves in it, like cherry blossoms, but it's not a cherry blossom tree. So that could be significant. Birds, pink skies could be significant. Watching birds fly away. And even in this card, there's a bird here that's flying away, you know, and that could be significant. So I'm also getting that you as a person, you're completely being transformed. Like you're completely being transformed. If you look at the person that you were almost a year ago, you're not the exact same person. You're not at all the exact same person. It's almost like as though life has made you more decisive. Life has made you more independent. Life has made you more come back into your masculine energy and heal your masculine energy. Now, again, this is energies. I don't read gender, I read energy. So, you had a little bit of a wounded masculine or like a wounded feminine energy. you know it's like you weren't truly able to tap into any of these energy as and when required. Either you were too feminine, even though it was not required, or either you were too masculine. And you definitely had an imbalance of these energies, and you had to go and balance these masculine and feminine energies out. And after going through a lot of changes, through circumstances, that people that enter your life, you finally were able to balance this and figure out what is the real issue that is making you feel or behave the way that you're behaving. Crows could be significant. You could have seen crows, you know, in recent days, or flying somewhere, because crows are like carriers of messengers. So that is also what I'm getting here. With the Two of Cups, it seems like you're sort of attracting a person who's almost like you, but in a different shade. It's like two exactly same things, but except that it's white and the other one is black. It's like yin and yang. If it's, what is the other example that I can give you? Something that is exactly the same, but it's exact opposite. It's like 180-degree and it's minus 180-degree. It's like that. And even this person, the energy that I'm picking up on, it's like they're sort of same to you, like just has how I mentioned now. You can see here that with this king of swords and this queen of swords, they're almost similar. They're very decisive. They know what they want. They're gonna go and get what they want. It's like both of them are has the planning for something, or they're just sitting down and they're reflecting, or they have finished up their tasks and then they're just relaxing. Two very strong powerful beings is the energy that I'm picking up on. And when these two energies, this is the Two of Cups. When these two energies come up in this energy, and them coming into a union or like a reunion is what I'm hearing. Maybe it's a reunion for some of you guys. And when you guys come into this reunion, it's like it's literally festival. That's the energy that I'm getting. It's literally like festival. When two of you guys come into union, it is literally like festival. And this love is being brewed. It is being brewed in the kitchen, and even you and the other person doesn't even know that it's being brewed. But I feel like you could be getting a little bit of hints of it. Maybe the universe is giving you a little bit of hint of that, you're going to be in love with another person, or you're attracting a partnership with a person, or it could also be friendship for some of you, because I'm picking a little bit of a friendship energy as well. Like a person who will understand you, who's sort of like a yin to your yang, you know confirmation book. And with the Hanged Man, you can see that the women had to like do, like this woman here in this picture, it's like this person is doing some sort of circus. They're hanging upside down, they're holding their leg, and this is like equivalent to you going and looking inside of you at everything that is you, in a way that you have never really seen yourself before. Like you had to bend your ways of seeing yourself. You had to take on a different perspective, a different form, like a different shape, or a different way of you coming back and looking at yourself. Like you had to do that. And with the Hanged Man, like you did not expect for you to have this realization, but at the same time you knew that you would have this realization, because at the Hanged Man, it's a very bright yellow light, especially at the top of her head. It's like you at this process of deep realization and soul searching is what I'm hearing, that you completely realize that, okay, yeah, I can see. And it seems like I got the Devil card here and the Judgment. There were so many habits, there were so many versions of you, or there were so many habits. That is what I'm specifically getting, that were so deep rooted in your blood, in your DNA. Maybe it was like a generational thing, that this is how it works in your family, this is how it does in your family. So with the generational thing and with the Devil card here, what I'm getting is that there were so many habits that you were prey to. There were so many hobbies that were not for your highest good. Like you just did that, and it eventually became your habit. And that was supposed to be in your favor. It was supposed to work in your favor, but it started to become more like an addiction to you, is what I'm hearing. A habit that did not go in your favor, and you were completely obsessed with it. It could be a person, it could be a habit, it could be a toxic substance, or anything, whatever. It started to go against you and you started to become prey to it. That is what I'm hearing, because I literally have the Devil card here, and it started mentally or psychologically affecting you, and you had to free out of it. I feel like that's when you turn to God. that's when you turn to God, that's when you turn to this higher self or this higher version of you, or that's when you started watching this video channeled messages or even tarot readings as well. Maybe you felt resonated with one reader or with one message that made you more curious as to what is this that this person is saying, and how can I learn more about myself or everything that has happened. Because I literally have the judgment card here. It's like this devilish energy, toxic energy. I'm also picking up on some toxic people that were around you, which, or those people knew the old version of you that is no longer you, and they somehow did not help you in your ways. They somehow did not see you the way you wanted to be seen. I'm getting even in your relationships, like even with your parents or with your close friends or in your partnerships, you wanted a side of you to be seen so badly by the other person, but that opposite person kept seeing versions of you that you do not define yourself with, and that really triggered you or hurt you a lot. And that made you come home to yourself because you had no other choice but to come home to yourself. You came home to yourself, and oh, so you came home to yourself and you're just like, give me a second. So yeah, so you came home to yourself. You could have cold right now, I don't know, all of a sudden it just feels like I have cold and like cough on my throat even though I don't have it. So that could be significant that this reading is for you. So that is what I'm getting, that you could have been in this energy where you're constantly reflecting on yourself and you're asking the divine to reflect on you. And you're like, God, if this person is not for me, remove them from my life. God, if this is for me, please bring it to me. God, if this is not going to work in my favor, then let me know. So it's like you started, getting more and more in connection with the divine or with the source. You started to get more and more connection with the divine or the source, and you were very intentional with that. Like you started to get very intentional. The Four of Cups. Yeah, maybe at first you didn't really see results. At first, maybe you didn't really see results as to why this is happening the way it is happening, what it is that this is doing, and you walked away from a lot of things. Or I'll tell you what exactly happened. At first, when you started praying to God that God, please take this from my life, please don't do this to me, and like, why are you like always putting me in such situations? God, help me. You started talking to God as though he was your own friend, talking to goddesses like God as though she was your own friend. And with the 10 of wands here, God made you walk away from all the things that was not for you. That was your first step, and that's why you were in this Four of Cups energy. You were like, God, I asked you to give this to me. I wanted this, I wanted this kind of life, I wanted this kind of partner in my life. But instead of giving that to me, you're just removing things from my life. You're just removing people, you're just removing hobbies, you're just removing habits, you're just removing this, that, you're just removing, and you're making me walk away from things that is no longer me. And at first you didn't really understand this. You were like, why is this happening to me? It's like, you can see there's a woman here, she's so sad, and she's like has a cheek, she has a hand on her cheeks, and she's just looking at that side because everything is going the exact opposite way of what she wanted. But little does this person know here that God heard your wishes and he is doing it the way you need it. But if you want something new, first you have to let go of everything that is not you. You need to clean your room for you to welcome new things into your room. Cleaning could be significant. If you're doing deep cleaning in your room, then that's a confirmation that this reading is for you. There is something that I'm getting, that don't question where you're gonna go, don't question where the path is gonna take you, don't question, just go and do it and see where it takes you. Let the path reveal itself to you. Do not question where it's taking you. The King of Pentacles. Yeah, this is big time. And the Page of Pentacles, this is big time. God is offering you this offer. God has heard your wishes and he is working with you. It's a very strong masculine energy that I'm picking up on. Maybe God is showing to you in the form of masculine energy. Maybe you had a wounded masculine side and you never really had like a male role model in your life, and you started seeing God has like a male role model, that I want God to show up in a father figure, or I want God to show up in a brother figure, and I want God to be my friend, and I want him to solve, or at least help me solve my problems or what is going on in my life. And once you did that, he gave you an opportunity, he gave you a way. Knowingly or unknowingly, your subconscious took that solution, and now it is going that way. Now it is going that way, it is working that way. And this is a very mystical energy that I'm feeling. It's like magic. I don't know why I wanted to say that word. The Eight of Wands, yeah, it's a little bit of a celebratory energy as well. Like right now you may not see that, okay, maybe there's nothing to celebrate, or you are celebrating, you're like, yeah, people are going, things are going, everything that is not me is going away. So that is in a way of celebration because first I'm letting go of everything that is not me, then I will be able to welcome everything that is me. So I guess that is why you're starting to see, and it's starting to click to you. It's like you're clicking, it's like you start to think about a certain situation and then you think about the next one. You somehow see that all these are connected and you're able to decode, and you're like, okay, damn, I didn't know that this was the whole story behind this particular habit of yours, a particular thought pattern of yours, or a particular way where you show up as a certain version of you that is not you, but that was in fact a response or a reaction to the environment that you were surrounded by, or to the people that you were surrounded by. Because of those situations and those people, a certain version of you came out so that you can deal with those environment, but those environment and those people weren't for you in the first place. Now you are letting go of that version of you that came out to deal with that. So you're getting loads and loads of downloads or information. You're able to recognize that, you're able to deal with that now, and it seems to be a little bit much easier compared to how it was before. The Four of Pentacles and the Six of Swords, yeah, and the Six of Cups. There could be a little bit of nostalgic energy, maybe the people that you used to hang out with in the past, the people that are no longer in your friends group. Maybe they're missing you, they're missing versions of you that you no longer are, and even you're missing versions of you that you no longer are. But you know that it's not right to go back. You definitely know that. You know that it is not right to go back to all those things. And after this, I also have the Three of Cups and the Six of Cups here. There's something about you really being patient. There's something about you, like you're really being patient, and you're being so patient that your higher self especially, they were very patient. It's like your higher self was waiting for some sort of, I would say, a timing, or some sort of phase in your life where they will be able to easily connect with you, you know where they will be able to easily connect with you. That is what I'm hearing. And 14 number could be significant. My eye really stood out at the 14, at this Temperance card, and the King of Wands in reverse. Maybe for a while you lost passion. You weren't in that fiery energy. You weren't really, you didn't feel like you were winning. You were like, it's like on the outside, you look like a person who has it all together, or people look at you and they're like, oh, their life is set. Like everything is set to them. They have nothing to worry about. Maybe it looked like that. And you showed up in a way where people felt like, what is wrong with them? Nothing. They're living their best life. But only you know what is happening on deep inside. And every second that you are feeling that emotion inside of you, it felt like as though there was a turmoil. or like there was a tornado or like a tsunami inside of you. That is what I'm hearing now. And your angels are celebrating you, even though you might not, confirmation Bob, you might not realize this, your angels are literally celebrating you. And I'm also hearing sisterhood. Maybe you have a really strong friendship group or siblings where you can share anything you want with them. That is why I'm getting the three of cups, and it's really strong. It's very safe space. It feels very safe to be in that place, or to be those people who sort of let you be the version of you that you actually are on the inside. And this turmoil that you're feeling inside, or that you felt inside, is not supposed to be meant to be felt for long. You're only supposed to feel that for like a short period of time, you know, and that is not going to last long. You're being called to pamper yourself, you know, you're being called to like take care of yourself. And they're also asking me that to be very mindful of what you put inside your mind, inside your body, you know, when it comes in terms of food, when it comes in terms of how you let your mind consume content, what your mind eats. But hasn't not just food, but what you see and what you allow. It even includes what kind of conversations are you taking part in, what kind of people are you entertaining in your life, what kind of habits that are naturally coming out of you, and is it aligning with everything that is you are. And I'm hearing the wheel of fortune. It's like as though the wheels are turning in your favor. You know, like when you go, or when you're sailing on a ship in a ocean. Now this is like way back, I'm giving an example of a pirates. Now imagine that you're a sailor, you know, and at that time when there was no cell phone, and you're going in a ship, you're sailing in a ship, and you just have a compass. And only through a compass you can find the location of your destination. At that moment, or at that time, you had no other, I would say, you had no other way but to trust the compass that, yes, this compass is going to lead me to the right destination. If the sailor was like, there was no phone at that time, only maps, and you need a navigator, that is, a navigator had to be a person, or else you used to use a compass, and that was your most way of reaching a particular destination, and some specific marks which people who already have sailed to those places make it, so that you know you're reaching the right place. And there was no other way for you to trust that you're reaching the right destination, and that was only through trusting this compass, that hoping that it takes you to the right destination. And that is what you're being asked right now. Like you have an internal compass, and it knows that when time is up, it knows that when something is done, when a karmic cycle is completed, it can come in related to your partnerships with people that you have, with hobbies that you have. The time is done. Maybe the anxiety that you're feeling right now, it is not just the anxiety of you shedding everything that is not you, but it is also letting you know that the time is up. It is time for you to get up and take action. And you have no other external proof. Nobody can come and show it to you that you're doing the right thing. You have to take this risk and trust your internal compass, and that is what your angels are saying. And this is standing out to me a lot in this whole card, that you have to trust this compass. Let me see what are the last guidance that you need to hear. You could be having a lot of tower moments, or a lot of big realization movements. The Six of Wands, there are so many parts of you that are wanting to be recognized and seen by you. That is no longer you. There are so many parts inside of you that wants to be healed, that wants to be seen, that hey, we exist inside of you. You know, I exist inside of you, like let me come out, I can help you in this. Like there are so many sides of you that are wanting to be recognized by you. And go and recognize and journal a lot about yourself, everything that you like, everything that you don't like. You may not see this as, it's not benefiting me in any way, so why should I do it? But self healing, self inner work is always benefiting you, and it is not benefiting anybody else. You know, every gain is not just a financial gain, but this inner self work that you're doing, it is much needed. So go and continue. Keep like few hours for your day where you go and journal. That is what I'm being channeled for you to do it. And I hope that this message resonated with you. And yes, guys, have a lovely day ahead. And I will see you guys in my next reading. And till then, take care. Bye bye.